Welcome back to Let's Talk. It is always a pleasure to be with you, to come to your house, to just sit with you so we can, discuss of subjects that are close to my heart and hopefully close to yours. And today we want to talk about how different ways you can protect yourself financially. I am excited about it. I have been doing it. And I thought to myself, you know what? Let's also share a little bit on this. So sit back, relax, and we're just going to talk. It is your friend, Luna Gentil. If you are listening to us, let somebody else know that Let's Talk is in the air. And if you are on YouTube or on Facebook, please share the page, share the link, share the video, like it, subscribe, so that you can receive notification of whenever we are sending, we are live or put another video up. You can receive it as well. I'm excited about that subject, and hopefully you will find it to have great value and things that you can start implementing right now if you are not doing it already. Bonsoir, mesdames, mesdemoiselles. First thing, if you are going to protect yourself, if you are going to protect yourself financially, if you have a car, you cannot, absolutely not have a car without having car insurance. And you might say, well, duh, it's a no-brainer to not to have car insurance. In most states, it is the law in the United States to have car insurance, but not in all states. Some states you do not have to have car insurance actually to drive. But for the rest of those states where it is actually the law to have car insurance, first benefit of having it, it keeps you legal. It keeps you out of jail, because if you are driving without car insurance and you get pulled over, you will go to jail. You do not want that. So that's the first benefit of having car insurance. The second benefit is you are at risk for of an accident. We don't wish it on anybody who's listening or watching this video, but the truth is we have over 30,000 car accidents every year in the United States. Over 30,000. So the chances are one of you listening to this video might get into a car accident, and it doesn't mean that you are a bad driver. When you are driving, you are looking out for yourself. You are also looking out for the drunk drivers, for the people who are strung out on drugs. We just don't know. And we pray that we go out, and we come back safely. But just in case anything happened, you want to be covered, because it is out there. It is a possibility that you might get into a car accident. And for that, you want to make sure that you are covered, because, and that's point number 3, when you have car insurance, you pay less if you do get into a car accident, because you have the company that they're going to deal with. They will not charge you as much as if you were to pay for the damages out of your own pocket. So that is also another reason why you want to have car insurance, because you pay less if you get into a car accident. Also, you have peace of mind when you have it. You're not always looking over your shoulder or worrying about if you do get pulled over by the police that you will go to jail. That gives you peace of mind. That gives your family peace of mind, knowing that if anything happened, you will be covered. Also, it safeguards you against lawsuits. If you get into a car accident or anything happen, they deal primarily with the car insurance company, not with you. So because you would have car insurance, that would mean instead of them suing you personally, they're going after the company, and the company covers, depends on what kind of coverage you have, they cover also your defense. They will be able to, step up and do what needs to be done while you stay out of it. So those are great advantages to having life insurance. And also, in case maybe you didn't get into a car accident, but you did damage your car. I remember we damaged our car on a pole. We didn't hit any other car or anything, but we didn't see that pole, and it was a very short pole. We damaged the door of our car, and we thought it was, something minor. We took it to a shop, $2,500, because they had to take the door apart and do, I don't know what they had to do. But the good news is we had insurance, and it was covered by our car insurance company. And even the rental, you can have your rental car covered as well while your car is being repaired. So for all these reasons, you want to have car insurance, because if we didn't have that, it would be, a lot of money out of pocket that we didn't have. But if you get into a car accident, hospital bills, pile up really quick, and you do not want to be the one responsible if somebody has to go to the hospital because you got into a car accident. Like I said, those things are tens of thousands of dollars that the insurance company would deal with, not you. For all these reasons, to protect yourself financially, if you have a car, you want to make sure that you have car insurance. If the car you're driving, find out if it's a friend's car, that they have insurance on it as well. In case anything happens, you know that you will be protected. You won't be personally liable for anything that happens. Nous avons parlé à soi de qui ça que vous capable faire, quelques bagages vous capable faire pour protéger tête ou. Et yon nan bagay qu'on capable faire pour protéger tête de façon financière, c'est prendre assurance pour machine, si ou gon machine. Si ou gon machine, gen pile monde qui dit assurance trop cher, yo prend ça qui pipiti ou bien yo pas couvrir tête yo jan yo ta supposé couvrir machine, jan yo ta supposé couvrir li, et puis ou gen plusieurs raisons qui fait l'or gen assurance sous machine nous tande plusieurs monde que yo arrêté déjà parce que le police campe yo assurance yo pas gen assurance sous machine, assurance en fini yo pas renouveler. Premièrement, c'est la loi. Presque dans tout état dans les États-Unis, sous gen machine ou besoin assurance, c'est la loi. Gon minimum assurance que vous devez gagner. Ça veut dire pour éviter aller en prison, ou besoin assurance machine. Et on l'autre bénéfice gagné les que ou gagne assurance, et surtout dans pays ici côté gagne en pile monde qui dans la rue a toute journée toute la nuit, gagne plus que 30 000 accidents machine par année. Plus que 30 000 accidents machine. Et ça pas veut dire que monde qui fait accident c'est un mauvais chauffeur, bien bon, parce que l'on conduit ou veille ni pour l'autre monde, mais gain de leur bagay qui passe que ou pas même ou pas ka éviter. Et si ou entraîne un accident ou voulez que ou gain assurance, parce que l'on pas gain assurance, c'est ou même personnellement que pral derrière pour yo et sous pour yo garder qui l'autre bien gain que capable derrière li. So pour raison ça ou voulez gagner assurance machine tout. Et on l'autre raison encore qui fait que vous voulez gagner, c'est que l'on gagne assurance machine ou payer moins. Si c'est vous qui t'as payé, si vous t'es dans un accident ou bien n'importe bagay passé, si c'est vous qui t'as payé, ou t'as payé plus l'argent dans poche. Mais assurance compagnie, li connaît tout petit détail, tout vie retourner pour le faire pour le payer moins l'argent. Ou même ou payer l'anti cob chaque mois, mais l'on accident passé, yo même son c'est gros comme yo mette dehors, surtout si gen moun qui à l'hôpital, si gen bagay sa yo et pour dédommager, c'est des milliers, des dizaines de milliers de dollars qui en jeu. Si ça va payer par mois pour assurance machine, pas en rien comparé à si que ou font accident et puis gen moun qui à l'hôpital et puis c'est sous compte et bill l'hôpital dans ta pied. Encore et assurance machine li bon la paix d'esprit. et ou connaît que ou gagne non seulement le police reto ou pas dans tête chargée ou pas dans cœur sauté, mais tout connaît si ou font accident ou bien si ou gagne doit pas frapper en l'autre machine. Yon nan moun nan famille qui te a conduit et puis li dormi derrière volant, là le frappé en machine pas de gen moun la donne, mais qu'on y a l'écraser machine moun nan, ça veut dire te still gen un pile dommage qui pour payer et c'est parce que te gen assurance qui fait que l'argent ça li pas sorti dans poche li. Sorti quoi vous payer par mois, li définitivement vaut la peine pour ou capable continuer prend payer assurance et si ou pas de gagner et al chercher le kounya et puis tout si ou font accident bien n'importe bagaille rive gen de l'eau pour ouvrir porte ou pas l'autre machine a venir et gen pile bagaille qui capable passer le ça côté c'est pas ou même personnellement moun nan pral al mener dans justice de pour gen assurance c'est compagnie y après les compagnie lui même li gen avocat yo gen tout bagaille tout c'est yo même cap deal avec moun yo so pour la paix d'esprit et pour poche pas après l'amoué prend assurance machine c'est yon nan gens que ou capable protéger tête ou n'a vini avec deuxième gens que ou capable protéger tête ou de façon financière parce que nous pas ta mais nous pas ta souhaiter en ken nan nous même gen accident ou bien rien arrivé mais il toujours en possibilité que ça capable arriver et tout ça que nous capable prévenir nous dit que prévenir vaut mieux que guérir. So, tout ça nous capable prévenir, tout ça nous capable ouais qui ont possibilité n'a font gens pour nous est-ce que nous capable épargner tête nous puis devant pour nous pas dans tête chargée. A second way you can protect yourself financially if you have a house is to have a homeowner insurance. Why do you want to have homeowner insurance? Well, just like we were talking about car insurance, homeowner insurance ensure peace of mind as well. Not only it protects your main dwelling, the house where you're living in, if you have a detached garage or shed or whatever other structure you have on your property, it is protected as well. Another benefit of homeowner insurance is it covers your content. So everything inside the house is also protected, is also covered. Most people don't know if you have a laptop. I read my policy recently and found that a lot of things I didn't even know was covered are actually covered under your life insurance policy. Even depends on which type you have, theft, vandalism, a lot of things are covered under your life insurance policy. Of course, you have also liability coverage, meaning if somebody else gets injured in your property, the insurance company, your homeowner insurance company, will pay out to up to a certain amount for medical bills and things like that. They would pay if somebody else gets injured, not if you get injured. If somebody else who doesn't live in the house get injured in your house, they will also pay to cover those medical bills. Also, if you, let's say, a tree fall on your house or something happened where you cannot live in the house, there is a fire, something happened where you have to go live somewhere else. Most insurance policies have loss of use of insurance coverage on it, meaning if you have to go stay in a hotel or rent another place for a few days or a few months, up to a certain limit, the insurance company would pay for you to live somewhere else and would pay for all the other expenses associated with you being displaced, which is a big advantage in having homeowner insurance, because while we hope that nothing would happen, I had somebody who went to take a shower and forgot to turn off the stove and the house caught fire. So those things, while we do not want them to happen, is still a possibility. So you want to have homeowner insurance if you have a house, and you want to have homeowner insurance that would cover your house, that can replace the house if it gets maybe in a fire or something like that. But don't get a lot more than that. The reason why I said that, some people say, well, you know what? I see that on the policy, it says it would cost 500,000 to rebuild my house if it was destroyed, but I'm going to take homeowner insurance for $1 million. You don't have any reasons to do that, because if your house is destroyed, the company would only pay what it would cost to replace your house, not anything you pay extra for it. So that's it's money that you're wasting if you are doubling on the amount that they would actually pay out. The rest of the money is, you're just wasting that money. So get coverage to get everything covered, in your house, all the contents, and look into it. If you have valuables like jewelry, expensive paintings and stuff like that, you can have a rider for it. Look at your policy and see what is covered, and if you have other valuables that you want covered that is not in the policy, call your insurance company and have them add those items, because some people have expensive jewelry and painting and stuff like that. You can add them also to your policy. In case anything happens, they will be covered as well. If you do not have a home but you rent, you still need insurance. So in that case, you would get tenant insurance. The reason why is because if you rent a property, the insurance company that covers the dwelling does not cover your content, meaning all your furniture, everything you have inside that house that you're renting is not covered. The insurance company doesn't allow a landlord policy to cover the tenant's content. So if you are renting, you still need to get your own insurance, and it's very cheap. I had a client recently I helped to get a tenant's insurance. It cost her less than $200 for the whole year, and I think it was 25,000. That all her content inside the apartment was covered for $25,000. So if anything happened, she would get that money to replace everything she has inside that house. So even if you do not own the property, if you have an apartment, you still want to make sure that you are covered, because if anything happened, you could try to sue the landlord, but really the best course of action is for you to get yourself some tenant insurance and get everything covered inside that apartment or that house that you are renting. Ou même qui dit que ou vle protéger tête ou, si ou gen on kay, ou besoin gagner assurance pour kay la. Pour qui raison besoin gagner assurance pour kay la? Ou besoin gagner assurance pour kay la parce que ou besoin kay la couvrir. Si kay la on pied bois tomber sur lui, on machine frapper kay et perdu frein, li frapper dans kay la, li détruit motion dans kay la, ou bien kay la prend du feu. Ou besoin gagner assurance qui pour capable remplacer kay la. Si kay la détruit, pour capable payer pour remplacer kay la, pour yo font kay tout neuf pour. Et ou besoin de assurance pour protéger kay la, ou besoin de assurance lan tout, li couvrir sou gen garage, sou gen shed de ti kay ki kon gen koto mette et tout matériel ou yo couvrir tout nan assurance qui gagne pour kay. Encore si ou gagne tout so gen en dan kayo, le c'est pour kay la ye, tout ou gen assurance pour kay la, tout ça qui en dan kayo couvrir tout. Et si ou ta gagné tableau qui coûte cher, ou ta gagné bijoux qui coûte cher, relais assurance compagnie pour make sure que yo mette de façon à part, et combien comme li vaut pour yo capable mettre de façon à part si rien passé, moun passé au volet ou bien tout bagage ça yo passé, pour les capable couvrir ça qui nan ka la qui que yo joli que yo pas couvrir ça. Gardez pour qui parle ici que gain pour qui ça qui la donné, et pour qui ça que ou couvrir pour lui, ou bien qui ça que ou pas couvrir pour lui. Ou besoin to gain assurance, parce que assurance là les couvrir si on moun vinn la caillou, let's say on moun a passé devant la caillou et puis te gain snow, moun nan tombe pied le cassé. moun nan pral l'hôpital, of course. Et le ça, pral gagner en pile l'argent k'ap dépenser. Assurance kaywa couvrir ça yo tout, li couvrir et l'hôpital pour moun, li couvrir différents bagages jusqu'à un certain limite. Si on moun vin la caillou et puis moun nan li tomber ou bien n'importe bagay arrivé moun nan chien ou morde li ou bien n'importe bagay ça yo, ou pas vle que c'est ou même qui pral payer nan poche ou pour bagay comme ça qui rive, ou vle que c'est assurance là qui paye so, ou besoin gagner assurance sou caillou qui pour couvrir tout bagay ça yo. Et puis tout, si ou gagne tant ou du feu t'a passé dans kay la, ou pas arrêter dans kay la yo condamné en attendant que y a rebâti kala ou bien faire réparation que besoin fait là, assurance ou tout t'as supposé gagner la donne qu'a payer jusqu'à un certain amount pour capable de louer on l'autre côté pour être ou bien pour capable rester dans hôtel pour manger pour toute bagage que t'as supposé qu'a faire là que ou pas capable faire, assurance kay la supposé payer ça yo so garder pour une assurance que gagne pour combien que yo payer combien que yo a payé et yo relé loss of use. So ça veut dire pendant pas qu'à utiliser kay la ou perdu utilisation kay la pour yo même pour y a payer gain de assurance qui dit yo payer jusqu'à 1 an sous fait 1 an de yo gain qui dit c'est jusqu'à 40 000 jusqu'à 50 000 $. Gardez pour ouais dans qui ça que yo gagne dans assurance ou pour ouais comment que ou couvrir. Et puis tout si ou t'a gagné gain de l'heure ou gain gros réparation que besoin fait, ou la gain doit couler ou bien gain cyclone qui passe là aller avec quelques feuilles et non shingles qui sous tête kay la. Yon nan bagay ou capable faire ou capable de faire pour compte ou bien relé un adjuster qui pour mettre un claim avec assurance compagnie pour yo capable remplacer roof qui sous kay la parce que roof coûte en pile cob. Monsieur remplacer roof panouan 2 ans de ça, li coûte nous presque 11 000 $ pour nous remplacer roof là. 11 000 $ ça nous pas de gain, mais nous font claim sur assurance kay la, assurance l'envoyer l'argent qui remplacer roof qui sous tête kay la. So c'est une raison qui fait que ou besoin gagner assurance pour kay. Et même ou même qui dit ah m'pa gen kay sur vidéo ça pas pour moi. Vidéo ça li style pour qui raison? Si ou est ton côté c'est louer même si son appartement même si son kay ou style besoin gagner assurance ça lui même yoré le Tenant Insurance c'est pour moun qui loue kay la que lié lui même ça le fait li pas couvrir tout kay la li seulement couvrir tout so gain en dedans kay la et en pile fois bagay ça yo coûter peut-être on 200 $ pour toute année mais si on bagay passer du feu passer ou bien n'importe ça passer yo couvrir tout ça que gain en dedans kay la so ou même ka dit que m'pa gen kay si ou était en côté ou style besoin gain assurance qui pour protéger toute affaire en dedans kay la et juste en cas que un accident passé en cas que du feu passé en cas que de l'eau pété parce que m'te gen un moun moins de l'eau et nan le te gen gros frédu et pipe yo pété PVC yo pété dans kay la et puis de l'eau envahit toute kay la tout et bagay dans kay la détruit net et pour yo couvrir faut gagner assurance pour ça. Et en parlant de assurance, si vous gagnez assurance et puis vous faites plus que 30 jours de yo, assurance ou gen doit pas couvrir encore. So si vous avez déplacé en pile monde vle al faire et 2-3 mois en Haïti, si vous avez déplacé pas gen monde nan ka la relé assurance compagnie fait yo connaît pour yo changer assurance sous kay la côté si rien passé nan kay la pour capable style couvrir parce que chaque assurance et chaque situation gen assurance pa yo. So ou vle make sure que si ou ap déplacer pour une période qui plus que 30 jours pour faire assurance compagnie connaît pour yo changer assurance que gagné sous kayou parce que assurance pour kay moun que rete la dan différent avec assurance qui pour kay qui vide ou même qui landlord qui a loué kayou si kay la vide pour plus que 30 jours ou vle relé assurance compagnie pour ou changer assurance que ou gagné sous kay la pour l'orele ou pas attendre que kay la pas couvrir. Il y a plusieurs monde que ça passé côté kay yo gen plus que 30 jours, li pas gen monde là dans leur et de l'eau pété, bagay passé leur relation sans assurance dit non, pas gen monde dans kay la des fois assurance ou gen c'est pour moun kay moun rete la dan depuis le fait 30 jours moun pas rete la dan assurance en pas valide encore c'est une raison qui fait que ou pas payer nan claim ça so ou vle make sure que toute assurance que ou gagne pour chaque situation ou les assurance compagnie pour connaître est-ce que ou couvrir dans chaque situation. For those of you who said, I don't have a house, I don't own a house, or if you own a house, you still want to have a homeowner insurance, because sometimes there are big ticket items that could be covered under an insurance claim. I replaced my roof and it cost about $11,000 2 years ago. I did not have $11,000 to replace the roof. I put a claim with the homeowner insurance company. They sent me a check and I paid to have the roof replaced. So for those big ticket items, you can also check with your insurance company and see if they would pay to have the boiler replaced, to have things done on your property. Most of the time, they would deny it. So it would be a good idea for you to find a good adjuster. If you have a big ticket item that you want done, it would be a good idea to get an adjuster, because they know the right wording, how to phrase it, to send it to the insurance companies for them to pay out for what you want done on your property. So that's another incentive to have proper insurance, homeowner insurance or tenant insurance. If you have a house, it could be your own house or a rental property, an investment property. If you do have a house that you used to live in and you're going on vacation for, let's say you're going to Europe for a month and a half or whatever, you're going, you have a summer house, you want to make sure you let the insurance company know when you are not there. Because if you have insurance for a house that you live in, if you have a regular insurance and you spend more than 30 days, the house is vacant, if anything happened, the insurance company will tell you you are not covered, because the type of insurance you have is not for vacant property. So if you are going to be away for a long time, you want to make sure you call your insurance company, have them change the insurance appropriately. Same thing if you had a tenant and you're looking for one, or you're doing repairs. In the meantime, you're not going to have somebody in the house for over 30 days. You want to make sure you let your insurance company know, so they change your insurance according to a vacant insurance policy, so that you do not get in trouble if people vandalize your house, or maybe there's a pipe that get busted, or fire, or anything. You want to make sure that is covered as well. And the last piece that we will cover today, if you want to protect yourself financially, is life insurance. You will hear me talk a lot about life insurance. If you don't have a car insurance, doesn't apply to you. If you do not have a house, or you do not rent it, you just, living with somebody, a homeowner insurance and tenant insurance might not apply to you. But if you are alive, life insurance applies to you. So everybody who's watching me, life insurance applies to you. So stay tuned, because you want to know, you want to be covered as well in that sense. A lot of people are saying, you know what, why do I need to be covered? The life insurance company pay out only when I'm dead. Yes, it does, and I hear you on that. But guess what? You are leaving people behind, and you want to make sure that your family, the people that you love, your friends, you leave them better than worse off. If you drop dead, you want to make sure that at least your funeral can be covered. You don't want to be a burden to leave. You're supposed to leave a will when you die, not a bill. So you don't leave any burden for anybody you leave behind, because they have enough to deal with grieving your loss. They don't have to be grieving also your bills. So please, you need, if you are alive and under the sound of my voice, you need life insurance. Why we are saying that? And regardless of where you are in the world, there is some type of life insurance in your country. So it applies to everybody, regardless of where you are in the world. In the United States, half of adults Americans do not have life insurance. Half of over 350 million people do not have life insurance, and that is not right. And you'll hear me talk about that over and over again. And most of them don't have life insurance because they believe they cannot afford it. That is just a myth. You can afford life insurance. You definitely can afford it if you get the right life insurance. A lot of people say, well, I want the life insurance that have cash value. Well, that one is much more expensive, and you don't have that much benefit going that route. So if you are interested to know which one you should actually go, you should look into, and especially if you are on a tight budget, you want to have term insurance, but you want to have a certain term insurance that fully cover you, and not all term insurance are the same. So if you are interested in learning more, give me a call, or you can email me, and we will get in touch, and I will give you more information on that. But life insurance doesn't have to be expensive. Half of the people that do not get it is because they said, I cannot afford it, I don't think I can afford it, without them knowing. They just don't think they can afford it because they hear that it's expensive. If you want an insurance quote, give me a call. I would give you a quote and show you how you can afford it. Some things you cannot afford not to have. And if you're saying, well, you know what, I cannot afford it, especially if you have a family, you cannot afford not to have it, because the people that says I cannot afford it are those that cannot afford not to have it. Because if you are pressed for money, you don't have not anything you can spare, I know one thing about you. You don't have enough money for your funeral either. So if you die tomorrow, you would leave your family in a worse shape than they are right now. So you cannot afford not to have it. If you say, well, you do not know my situation, I am telling you, I cannot afford the life insurance. If I had any extra money, I could get it. I would willingly get it, but I can't. Well, give me a call. I would show you how you can make extra money to be able to cover your life insurance. I'm not kidding. I can show you how to make extra money to cover your life insurance. So send me an email, give me a call, go on my YouTube or on my Facebook page, inbox me. But there is a way. Where there is a will, there is a way. It is possible for you to get life insurance and protect yourself and your family. So it is a myth that you cannot afford it. Until you look at it, until you get a quote, you don't know if you can afford it or not. Also, there are different benefits of having, life insurance. Beside your funeral costs to be covered, of course, everybody, you should at least aim to have that covered and not leave a burden on anybody when you die. So beside that, for the people that you are leaving behind, when you are, and did I mention that we are all going to die? So don't say, well, you know what, don't talk about death. It's a guarantee. We are all, every single one of us, all of us. If Jesus doesn't come back soon, we all going to die. It could be in 10 years, 20 years, 40 years, but we are guaranteed that we're going to die. So I'm not saying, it might be, it might happen. No, it will happen. It's inevitable that we are going to die. So we are just making preparation for when that happens. We have the different, benefit of having life insurance policy. For those you are living as benefit for your life insurance policy, it is tax-free. They don't pay tax on that money. So if you had a $500,000 policy or $1 million, it's one of the ways you ensure that you leave money for the people you care about, and it doesn't cost you that much. While you might not be able to save $500,000 or $1 million, life insurance is one of the ways that you can leave a legacy of wealth for people, and it's tax-free. Your dependent won't have to worry about living expenses, because your life insurance, and especially if you have small children, your life insurance should be high enough. The amount should be high enough so that it can cover 10 to 15 years of your income. That means if you make $50,000 a year, your life insurance should cover at least 10 to 15 years of that amount. Meaning that would be an income replacement for your family. If you die next year or you die next month, they don't have to wonder how are they going to keep up with the bills because your income is no longer there. No, you should have enough life insurance, not just to cover your funeral expenses. You should have enough life insurance if you have, especially if you have, smaller children or people who depend on you. You might not have smaller children, but you have your mom and dad that they depend on you. You do everything for them. There is no guarantee that they will die first. And because of that, you should have also enough life insurance. If you are the one taking care of your parents and you die, they will still be taken care of. Your income, you will still be there. So that's why we also call life insurance income replacement. Part of the life insurance should replace your income for at least 10 years. So when you are saying, well, I don't know how much insurance I should get, you should get enough insurance to replace your yearly income for at least 10 years. Also, you can get, when you are looking for life insurance, and we say buy term insurance and invest the difference. Why? Because whole life insurance is much more expensive, at least twice the cost of term insurance. So what you can do is you buy term insurance, and the difference you would pay for whole life insurance, you invest it into you put it into an investment account and let that money grow for you. So you buy term insurance and invest the difference. And I won't have time today to go over all the benefits of doing that, but there are great benefits of doing that. Again, if you would like to know more about this, give me a call, send me, email me, go on my YouTube channel, get in touch with me that way, or you can inbox me on Facebook, send me a friend request, inbox me. We will catch up on that. But what you want to do when you get a term life insurance, you want to make sure that it has at least those two important riders on it. You want to have terminally ill rider, meaning if you are diagnosed with a terminally ill disease that you have less than a year to live, that you can get money out of that term insurance. You can, let's say if it's for $500,000, you can get, most companies would give you up to 40% of that money. Now, when I said most companies, not all insurance companies are equal, and not all policies are equal. Some people say, well, how come this company is cheaper? The quote I got here is cheaper than what you are giving me. Well, it's because there are a lot of little details they don't give you. Some companies actually pay the amount if you're terminally ill to your doctor, not to you, meaning they would only pay for treatment. But let me tell you something. If the doctor say you have 3 months to live or 6 months to live and there is no way around that, I don't want to keep paying for treatment that is not going to serve me anything. I want to have that money so that I can pay all my expenses and I can go travel. I can do what I want to do with my family and not worry about where that money is coming from. So when you get that policy, some people say, well, yes, I have, terminally illness on my policy. I have that rider. As the company that you have the rider with, do they pay you the money or do they pay your doctors the money? No brainer. I want to have that money in my bank account if I am the one who needs it and I'm not going to personal treatment. So you want to make sure you know not only that they have that in the policy, but you want to make sure you know who do they pay that money out to? You or your doctor or their doctor? Because some company wants you to go with their doctor. So that is very, very key, very crucial for you to know that information. So when some company make you pay a little bit more for your policy than others, is because they have some other advantages that you do not know about. Also, you want to make sure that you have disability rider in your policy, meaning if you or become disabled, long-term disabled, you want the policy to keep paying on its own without you having to pay for the monthly premium. So you want to make sure you have at least those two riders on your insurance policy, because, and if you have life insurance at work, that is not really life insurance. I mean, it is insurance, but it is only good for when you're working. So if you become sick and you have to take a leave of absence, it no longer cover you, because it's only good for when you are at work. If you leave the company, you no longer have it either. It no longer covers you. So if you only have life insurance at work, you really don't have life insurance unless you die at work. So you don't, I am pretty sure you do not have a policy either if you have life insurance at work, because the policy is not yours, it's the employer's. You just know you're covered, but the policy is actually not yours. Check it out. Don't take my word for it. Everything I tell you on this platform, please go check it out for yourself, because you want to get the knowledge for yourself. Don't take my word for it. Go and find out for yourself. Ou même qui dit que well, m'pa gen machine, m'pa besoin assurance machine, moi pas gen kay, moi pas besoin assurance kay, moi pas même louer kay la même, ça veut dire m'pa même besoin et pour m'ta gen assurance pour bagay qui en de kay la, parce que m'pa vraiment gagner en de kay la. Dernier type de assurance que n'a parlé que ou doit protéger tête ou avec lui, c'est assurance de vie. Si ou pas gen machine ou pas gen kay, si ou attendez m'sait que ou en vie, ou besoin assurance de vie. Et n'importe côté que vous êtes dans le monde là, que au Haïti, que au Brésil, que au Chili, que au Canada, n'importe côté où vous êtes dans le monde là, gagnez assurance de vie. Et pour qui soit besoin assurance de vie, pas dit moi même si mourir au cas salim, pas grand quelqu'un monde qui pral salo parce que pas pral manger. Pour qui soit besoin assurance. Premièrement, assurance supposée payer l'homme mourir, c'est pas monde qui pourra faire collecte pour payer pour voir comment on va enterrer. C'est pas tout le monde pour après les pour qui monde qui a contribué, qui a cotisé pour faire enterrement. Ou t'as supposé l'homme mourir pour gagner assez comme pour faire enterrement, mais tout pour quitter comme pour moun ou gagner derrière, spécialement si ou gagner ti moun petit. Si ou gagner ti moun petit, ou t'as supposé gagner assurance ou t'as supposé qu'à couvrir au moins 10 ans de income que vous gagnez par année. Ça veut dire, si c'est 50 000 $ fait par année, ou t'as supposé multiplier 50 ça par 10 pour assurance, ou t'as au moins 500 000 $ qui pour couvrir dans assurance. Côté sous mourir, ti moun yo still ka l'école, yo still rete nan kay côté yo te rete ya, parce que l'homme mourir, c'est pas ou même seul qui mourir, income ou mourir avec ou. Ça veut dire, pour capable income ou capable rete côté moun yo pas crier deux fois, ou besoin gen assurance qui pour remplacer income. So on parti dans assurance là, c'est pour remplacer income, et puis reste là, il supposé gen assurance pour remplacer au moins 10 à 15 ans income, ou supposé gen assurance qui pour couvrir enterrement, ou supposé gen assurance sous gen l'autre bill, ou gen bill machine, bill kay qui pour couvrir tout ça yo sous mourir côté. Surtout tout temps gen ti moun qui pi grand, ti moun yo fin grand yo marié, ou pas besoin assurance qui pour bagay pour ça yo. Mais assurance c'est on l'autre bénéfice gen assurance, c'est que même si tout ti moun ta fin grand, assurance c'est yon nan bagay qui permet ou quitter on somme d'argent pour famille, ou même si que ou pas de gain comme ça et mettez de côté. C'est un argent pour capable faire, et puis comme ça que vous quittez pour yo, même si c'est 50 000, même si c'est 500 000, même si c'est 1 million, comme ça, yo pas payer taxe sur lui. Ça veut dire son l'argent gratis que qui vient dans main yo en somme d'argent, mais yo pas payer taxe sur lui. Et puis yo gen, ça veut dire y a gen kob ni pour payer enterrement, mais y a gen kob pour payer toute l'autre dette que vous quittez derrière. Pas mourir quitter dette sous moun côté c'est moun yo qui prale casser tête yo pour qui ça y a fait. Ou dit ah depuis mourir m'pa doué encore. L'or mourir sous te gon kay, banque lan pa kè que ou mourir. Si yo pas continue payer ka la banque la prend ka la bac. C'est pas toute dette qui mourir avec. Gan pile dette qui pas mourir avec. So si ou gen c'est pas est-ce que ou a mourir nous tout a mourir. Pas dit non si mal prend assurance, c'est ça veut dire l'homme après les DM. L'homme derrière tout chaque jour et l'homme garanti pour un jour les river kotoyer. L'homme sont garantis liés pour nous toutes. So nous juste à préparer nous pour laisser arriver pour nous quitter famille nous plus bien que pour nous quitter au plus mal. So non assurance que on prend comme nous dit prend assurance qui terme parce que les plus bon marché ou gagne plus assurance qui ou ka couvrir pour plus assurance et puis make sure que vous gagne deux bagages ça dans assurance que on prend. Make sure que vous gagne et on rider ça veut dire on bagage là-dedans qui dit que si ou docteur ouais que ou était moins que 1 an pour vivre parce qu'on malade pour ou capable prendre l'argent dans assurance pendant ou style en vie pour capable payer bill ou pour pas obliger à courir au travail bien que ou pas capable make sure que vous gagnez ça là-dedans ça veut dire ça c'est rider pour monde qui malade qui pral mourir terminally ill rider et puis tout pour monde qui make sure que vous gagnez on l'autre rider qui relé pour monde qui souvent gagne disable ça veut dire pas qu'à travailler encore pour assurance capable continuer payer tête li pour compte li. So deux bagages ça au moins ou vle make sure que ou gagne dans assurance que ou prend et l'on prend mandé compagnie si ou prend mandé compagnie si docteur t'a dit rester 6 mois pour vivre est-ce que c'est ou même y a bail mosso nan kob la ou bien est-ce que c'est docteur gain assurance compagnie yo pas payer kob la yo seulement vle payer donc c'est seulement c'est docteur y a payé pour docteur a fait traitement pour mais keep it that in mind si ou pral mourir pas grand gens que ka sauver ou pas besoin de continuer dépenser l'argent que tu es capable de prendre assurance pour payer docteur avec lui si pas gagné que docteur a fait pour ou voulez pour l'argent ça ka vinn nan men côté sou voulez voyager avec famille ou gen bagay que tu voulez faire ou gen you know on liste de bagay que tu aimerais faire avant mourir pour l'argent ça vinn nan men so si ou pral prend mandé compagnie est-ce que c'est ou même y a payé non ka comme ça ou bien est-ce que c'est docteur que ou a payé pour qu'on est avec qui compagnie pour aller parce que yo pas de ça et c'est l'ordre on connaît. Si vous avez besoin, on code pour assurance et ça fait que n'a parlé de assurance, c'est parce que moitié dans monde qui ici pas gain assurance et c'est parce que vous pensez que yo li trop cher yo pas ka prendre. Assurance pas trop cher parce que regardez pour ça que assurance fait qui ça le couvre pour li pas trop cher. Et si vous t'a dit vraiment pas gain cob du tout, moi raconte pas gain cob, relem m'a montre comment que vous capable faire cob pour payer assurance là. Ou capable email moi, capable aller sur Facebook ou bien sur YouTube pour entrer en contact avec nous pour nous montrer comment que vous capable de faire at least comme qui pour couvrir assurance ou si son bagage que ou vraiment voulez faire parce que dès pour voulez faire ou a besoin on gens quand même pour faire li et sous besoin gain un code pour assurance ou ta remet combien la coûte pour assurance relez nous capable faire ça pour numéro sur écran email adresse nous sur écran ou capable entrer en contact avec nous sur Facebook ou bien sur YouTube tout relez nous c'est ça que nous t'es venu avec lui pour aujourd'hui trois gens que capable protéger tête ou avec famille ou financièrement pas seulement tête ou mais tête ou avec famille ou capable protéger nous parce que tant pour comme là c'est dans poche ou sorti li sorti dans comme assurance chaque mois paye un petit cal comme tout petit mais bénéfice que li ba ou ni pour assurance machine ni pour assurance caille ni pour assurance de vie ou pas qu'à remplacer ça parce que leur en situation arrivée c'est leur situation arrivée et puis leur ça va dire oh mes amis si m'te gain ou bien si m'te connaît toujours derrière prend information ça utiliser parce que c'est seule information que utiliser cap utile nous espérer que ça nous te partager avant là ou te apprendre de lui-même partager là avec l'autre monde voyer vidéo ba l'autre monde monter sur page YouTube là et subscribe ou si vous avez une question ou capable relais nous faire nous connaître c'est tout ça que nous te porté pour aujourd'hui à bon table là nous chita pour nous faire un petit causer et nous espérer que vous restez bien ou protéger tête ou continuer prendre toute précaution et puis jusqu'à lundi si Dieu veut nous espérer encore ou capable avec nous bon table là pour nous capable faire un petit causer c'était amis ou Luna qui dit ou que bon Dieu bénisse It was a pleasure to have you with us today on Let's Talk. It is always a pleasure having you. Please share the information, share the video, like the page, subscribe to get more videos from us. Send me, friend requests on Facebook. Until next time, stay safe.